Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. It's a continuation from the last one since we were capturing a load of footage throughout the day, and as you can see here is going to be one of those BDM pushes from that exact bridge we covered from yesterday. So you can see basically BDM held their ground for a very long time and now they're going for the aggression. So let's cover how well they go for this push and working together hopefully for some amazing PvP commentary from me, MrSneakyy, to you, the amazing community that is the Sneaky Army. So strap in, get your popcorn and enjoy today's episode of the War Room. Welcome back. So yes, we're working in the War Room today and it's all about PvP like always in the War Room. This is going to be the one playlist for you guys if you want to learn PvP and watch different styles of PvP fighting. So we've got the BDM Alliance versus GD again on server 32 here, and this is where the craziness starts to unfold, where BDM basically gets sick and tired of holding that bridge and go for the aggressive route. So you can see here there's some nice mountain ranges that basically funnels the units into this one zone, and BDM are not going to be slowing down. They're going straight in for the front lines to make sure the backline of GD members that might be AFK are going to be available to kill, right? The cool thing again with this area is the flying units. You might see it used a little bit later in the clips, but if you got a flying unit, you are able to go over those mountain ridges, right? So you can create some flanks and hit the enemy without them being able to get you, and even go back and retreat and pull those units that target you out of that Murderball positioning. So we're going to be able to see some amazing AoE combat here from the BDM Alliance, focusing straight down into that main Murderball by GD here. They're using some insane artifacts from themselves. They've got the Phoenix Eyes being dropped down with, I even saw the Viola's Bow, which is a crucial element in this fight, right? It's delayed the GD members' artifacts by 10 seconds, but now they are all online, and you saw the return fire by GD members here using an insane amount of PvP artifacts, using the Shadow Blades and Burst Strikes and Infernal combo all together to burn through that initial front line by the BDM Alliance. So you can see here a really tight, almost 50-50 fight here, but BDM have got more front line, and just like that he runs straight in here, and the main backline you can see is still behind Mr. Bandit, who is playing the frontline position, right? They are pushing in while the main GD Alliance you can see is more spread across their still initial defense zone. So this is looking very, very promising for the GD members here. You can see their health bars very, very healthy compared to the BDM members here in the critical zones. And the reason why, again, if we look at all the artifact damage and AoE being used, right, this is why you want to be spread out when you are fighting in PvP, because if you are not spread out, what's going to happen is all that AoE is hitting multiple marchers and getting maximum efficiency in its work. And you can see again some amazing teamwork by GD here, and the way they're doing this, again, you've got to think they're going to be targeting Ray Cloud right now, allowing that AoE to hit anyone else. But once he's dead, they're going to start switching that focus to Fatty P, that you can see already starting to lose his troops now with that Kanara. And when you zoom out, you can now actually see the turn of events. You can see how GD members have so many more troops compared to the BD aggression here, but it was a very solid effort, right? You can see how the BD members did go for the first attack, but the tightness and how small that Murderball was, instead of being spread out, basically cost them way more damage in their alliance, right? And because of that, they're now going to be retreating back to that bridge, because that bridge again is a funnel zone just like that area right here. And we're going to be able to see, as you can see, the GD members now push forward into this new future crevice here that you're going to see on screen, and that's going to allow them basically to defend, right? They're able to sit there and defend, not too close to the bridge, and if there's too many members by BDM, they've got this massive space here now from that bridge to where you can see the GD Alliance currently, and it will allow them to retreat if they're needed. But really good teamwork here, really good PvP combat here, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the commentary of it so far. But you're going to be able to see now the power of maybe the cavalry units, right? You can see Emery's there running and charging down these slow archers and mages that don't have the enough march speed to escape, or maybe they didn't obviously pay attention to what's going on. So right here, we're just redrawing now. This is the GD triangle, basically pushing into the bridge member, and the bridge is where the BD Alliance control, because if you enter that bridge again, you are now punishing yourselves, if you're a GD Alliance member, into the BDM AoE. So it's going to be the exact same thing we just saw earlier, but we're in the reversed roles, right? So hope you've enjoyed so far. We can see they have this wall now that they're able to fight into the bridge, but they're not going to cross that line. They're going to try and stay out of that dead zone, as you can see, and as we draw on it, they're going to enter it and leave instantly, all right? They're not trying to get themselves killed. So very, very important to understand where the choke zones are in your PvP experiences. Otherwise, you can die, right? You've got all these marchers that can range combat onto the bridge, as well as potentially flying and blinking over and flanking your alliance members. So there's loads of different routes you can be doing right here with your marchers if you was choosing to try and obviously fight. So that is going to be today's episode of the War Room. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to let obviously a little bit of combat in the background fire off where the JD members have basically finished this skirmish, and then we're going to go into obviously another part of the fights. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. It's been a clash of the Titans in this episode so far, as you can imagine, but we've still got another part of the video to go before we end today's episode. So if you've enjoyed it, smash a like, comment and subscribe. But until then, let's fast forward and move into the next clip. Welcome back. So yes, we've got to the next stage, and this is basically not that long after where we left off. You can keep the check of the timer and stuff if you want, but this is just basically more open field combat from BDM, and this is a more better, I think, fight to analyze, because you can see here their Murderball is a lot more spread out and basically pushing into the enemy territory, and you can see it progressively. Their zone or influence of this Murderball on screen is being pushed now into the zone, right? So you can see they're controlling this land, and by being spread out, they're able to hit different units from 3 different angles, right? And this creates one eventually area of AoE. So it's a really powerful way of fighting here, and you're going to be able to see the BDM members now going in targeting down the front line of the GD members here, using some insane AoE and artifact skills there to deal an absurd amount of damage, and the CEO and some other BDM members there hitting that unstoppable trigger, meaning they hit over 10,000 merits with that match already. You can see Shadow Games being used by CEO there and finishing off a bunch of units. And remember, when you're going to target, if you are using archers here, this is a prime example where you can use him and target, as you saw, the Atheist there to get absolutely murdered, as Murderface does die and walk back to his troops. So this is where unit advantage is very key, knowing that your archers do beat mages, and for example, mages do beat infantry. These are really key things to know, because you can abuse this to get free AoE damage, to get free merits, and it allows you to have maybe a more focused role when it comes into PvP combat, right? Because now you can see this Murderball has split into 2 smaller balls, and it's allowing them to basically still have this wide area of a ball that they control, but it's operating on 2 different fronts, right? They're able to kill anyone on the bottom that might be trying to flank them, while the top side is covering, you know, the other end, right? They're able to cover anyone flanking from the north side and the east, while obviously the bottom ball is covering the south and the west, right? So it's a really clever way of fighting here. And we see a teleport by Takimo here, and this is one of the big players in the alliance. He's willing to fire as hard as he can for his members that you're going to be able to see a little bit here in the background. But I thought that little bit of a skirmish is a really good bit of combat, right? Because you can see how those BDM 2 members basically and the BDM alliance have that union, and it works together, and they push as a Murderball, and they basically wipe out targets that they focus, right? And that's where you've got to remember, when you're in PvP, focus fire is very important, and it's allowing them, if they focus fire, to kill those units and get more and more merits and keep those units on the battlefield, right? Because you might be wondering why we always keep stressing all this type of stuff. We haven't really mentioned it too much in today's video or any of the war rooms right now, but the reason this is important is the stamina, right? Every time you summon one of your units and he leaves your castle and you initiate fighting, and that fighting does conduct, even if you hit them once with one ranged auto attack, that will cost you 10 stamina. And because it costs you 10 stamina, you do not want that 10 stamina to go to waste, so you need to keep fighting until your units eventually either die or hit the critical zone where you're happy with the amount of merits gained, right? So here we're going to see Takimo, as we say, one of the 85 million players for GD here, but we have all of this massive wall focusing in onto his troops in multiple areas, right? Even though you've got some support from the GD guys for Takimo here, the BDM members do surround pretty much all of these cities, right? So they're able to actually kill a lot of these troops and punish his marchers, right? Even though he will be gaining a bunch of merits, and honestly this looks very fun for him, he is losing more stamina the way he is fighting, right? Because he is getting focused down very well by the members here before they eventually lose out on their troops. But you can see there's still BDM members all around here fighting, right? So that is going to conduct today's war room though. I hope it makes sense to you on the urgency, if you want to say, on focusing troops, as well as your movement and the refresh timers on that AoE, right? Because if you're in those deadly AoE zones, as this clip replays itself now, you're going to be able to again just see some of the brutality of the AoE being used, right? So you can see a lot of troops on that top right flank, but if you keep an eye on this BDM ball here, they're going to start just wiping out all of these guys on the top side because of the focus firing that they have. So really good teamwork, really good bit of footage there for you guys to learn a lot from. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of the War Room. It's a lot more on the target focusing, as well as you can see more open field commentary for you guys. So if you enjoyed today's episode, smash like, comment and subscribe. Or like always, my name is MrSneakyy, an official Call of Dragons content creator, and like always, we give you that juicy hero guides, behemoth guides, events and PvP commentary, all to do with Call of Dragons. We're here giving you daily videos, so hit the sub button, hit the notifications if you want to find out more, and like always guys, stay safe, stay sneaky until the next video, and peace out.